Okay, so I was gonna call this video like why I wasn't in YouTube Rewind 2019. It was supposed to be a parody because seemingly every year these YouTubers just kind of come out of nowhere. Like last year, I think it was like Matthias or whoever it was, and it's like, well, I wasn't in YouTube Rewind because the last time I was in YouTube Rewind, YouTube kept us in this space for hours and hours, and it was cold, and we weren't fed, and blah blah blah. Like they always just take this grand stand against YouTube, like they just treat them so horribly whenever they do a YouTube rewind, which I don't imagine that shooting a YouTube rewind is easy, and I am sure that even if you only have a 30-second segment in the video, that segment would take an entire day to shoot, and it would probably be harsh conditions because that's how it is when you shoot something, especially if you're shooting on location. Like we all understand, the YouTube rewinds are shot on location, hardly ever in the YouTube space itself. But people are always like, "Oh, YouTube Rewind is just propaganda, and it's just them trying to keep their social interaction with their what am I looking for, the demographic intact. Like it's just publicity, all that stuff." And that's fine if that's how you feel about it. Whatever, I really don't care. The point is that I was going to make a video like that where I was going to be all dramatic and like, but the punchline is that I'm just not qualified. I only have 5,000 subscribers. I don't get to be in the YouTube Rewind, but that was the joke. That was the aim of what I was going to do. But then YouTube Rewind actually came out, and it was something completely different, and now I can't do that because nobody's in YouTube Rewind. People are just featured for their accomplishments. So now that I've seen this YouTube Rewind, I don't remember exactly everything that happens in it, but the way that it was assembled, produced, packaged, and sent to us is not something that I'm really a fan of. I want to talk about this briefly because it shows that there's still an issue at YouTube with public relations. And the first thing that I want to talk about is its presentation. It's not like you would expect it to be. Like I thought there'd be like, Minecraft outfits, dancing to like people like Smosh and Rhett and Link or whoever, Markiplier, Jacksepticeye in these Minecraft outfits, doing Fortnite dances to Old Town Road, and then here comes PewDiePie talking about, hey, congratulations as a celebration, that sort of thing. That's what I expected. But that's not what we got. We didn't get a YouTube Rewind as they previously have been. Because YouTube Rewind is typically a collection of like thematic shorts that fit whatever theme. Like when Gangnam Style came out, that was the theme. It's usually based around whatever music was popular, and that comes up with like the thematic idea of the entire video that they're doing, and that's what all the actors involved, all the YouTubers involved have to work around, that sort of thing. But for a while, it was basically just you're watching this video to see where PewDiePie shows up, because PewDiePie's interests were always the most interesting thing about them. But then he stopped being in them because he's done a couple messed up things in his career, and he got in trouble with YouTube, and they just stopped including him in these. Be that stupid or not, that's just what happened. But this year, happy to say he is there. But the thing is about this YouTube Rewind is that, like I said, it's not like previous YouTube Rewinds. It's really just it's like a top 10 video from like What Culture or Watch Mojo, where it's just like, here's the top 10 most liked videos, here's the top 10 most watched things, here's this, that, whatever. Because the whole thing is like, okay, last year we put out the most disliked YouTube video of all time. This year we're going to base what we put out on likes. So they're letting the algorithm dictate what they feature, basically. Which I guess that's how you figure something like that. You go by numbers and you figure out what's the most popular. But you have to be indiscriminate when you're doing it this way, which leads to a lot of issues. Because, as I said, YouTube Rewind is different than it usually is. But one thing that it's held on to is that YouTube is an international thing. There are YouTubers with 30 million subscribers probably that you've never heard of because they're from a different country. They don't speak the language you speak, and they just have a completely different audience. That's fine. I don't care. But in trying to be numbers based, there's this part where they feature like, oh, the first Middle Eastern YouTuber to hit 10 million subscribers, the first Taiwanese YouTuber to hit 10 million subscribers. And it's like, that's great for them. But as this entire platform and its, vast reaching community, it's not exactly something that we care about. And I don't want this to be like, oh, you don't care about international stars, you don't care about people of different races. That's not the case. It's just, I came here expecting a crash course on everything that was popular this year, everything that, had cultural impact on YouTube this year. But what I got was just like, hey, Fortnite gets a lot of views, Minecraft gets a lot of views, Roblox gets a lot of views, GTA gets a lot of views. It's like, I don't super care, I'm not really going based on who has subscribers, what's getting views. I just want to see what mattered in 2019, and I don't really feel like I got that. It was cool that Seth Everman was in there because his stuff is great. But at the same time, it's like, you don't feel this collaborative effort. You just feel somebody editing a video for a couple hours, putting on some cool PowerPoint animations, and then putting out YouTube Rewind. Like, you don't get the same impact from this one that you would get from even YouTube Rewind 2018, because that was still a rewind the way that they're supposed to be. Like, there's no rewind button MacGuffin in this video because there's no people in it. Nobody showed up anywhere to shoot a video. It's just... Now, here's where things get problematic, right? It's great that Felix is in this one because to ignore his impact on the platform this past year would be stupid. He got married. He gained 100 million subscribers. He had that whole rivalry with T-Series that I'll admit did start in 2018 and carried over to this year. But, that whole thing was still very important. He made Minecraft popular again, all sorts of stuff. But here's the thing. I mentioned T-Series because they put out a music video that was featured in the top 5 most liked videos about dance or whatever. Even after what we have learned about T-Series because of PewDiePie, like, their connection with the Indian Mafia, they're basically just ripping copyrighted material from other sources and throwing it out there, automatically subscribing everybody that starts an account in India to T-Series, kind of just sub-botting the entire population of India. Just all these, like, not so nice, kind of underhanded things that they've been doing that reflect so poorly on the platform, but you can't leave them out because statistically they qualify for this part of the video, this criteria that you set up for this part of the video. And yeah, you're being fair, right? But still, YouTube at large, the community, the people, us, we're not a huge fan of T-Series because of what we know about them. Putting PewDiePie in the video twice isn't going to, fix that. But another thing, there's nothing about Etika. Like, there's no tribute to him. He wasn't the biggest YouTuber. He probably wasn't super brand safe. But his death, his suicide, was a huge deal. I mean, it was such a big deal that, there's channels out there that were exploiting his death to get views, blah, blah, blah. But it obviously moved a lot of people. A lot of people were deeply impacted by his death. And to just act like none of it mattered. Like, there was even like a gathering of his fans at, I think, VidCon earlier this year because just he mattered that much. And it's like, you can't just pretend that that didn't happen, YouTube. Like, I wasn't a huge fan of Etika by the time that he passed away. But still, I would have to be blind, deaf, and dumb to not realize how important he was to his fans. Not even just his fans, but like the Nintendo community, the meme community, the anime community. He was just a big deal, And that's kind of how I feel about that. I mean, it's weird not seeing Markiplier or Jacksepticeye in it after so many years of them actually being there. But, that's all because of the presentation. That's another thing is, like, your favorite YouTubers probably aren't in this video. Like, people that you really like to watch day after day that have 1 million subscribers that have been in previous YouTube Rewinds aren't in this one because they didn't get 10 million likes on a video. Like, it's kind of silly because, like, PewDiePie is a massive force on YouTube. But imagine if, like, PewDiePie, Jacksepticeye, Markiplier, The Game Grumps, DashEXP, Jeremy Johns, Chris Stuckman, Red Letter Media, Binging with Babish, First We Feast, Bon Appetit. There's a bunch of channels with these huge followings where they just go away. YouTube would lose a lot of business really quickly, wouldn't they? Yeah, I think so. I think that's fair to say. So the fact that, like, they don't find all these people as worth featuring is just a little strange to me. Like, obviously, I don't know. There's strength in numbers, sure, and they've all got their massive communities. And I just feel like that's part of the reason that they should have made this more creative focused and less number focused. Because if you, like, Felix probably feels really good about being in another YouTube Rewind after so long of being, you know, cast out, just banned from YouTube Rewind. But again, it's like, it just doesn't feel right this way. I don't know. That's just what I thought about YouTube Rewind this year. Let me know what you think. If you agree at all, if you disagree, if you think I'm just trying to get views because YouTube Rewind just came out. But yeah, yeah. I'll see you soon, and keep on skating.